Hey internet family, I'm running a slight bit late, but I wanted to make sure that I read this for you today. I was reading it this past week and it struck a chord in me, and I thought it might in some of you guys too. This is from the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. It's an oldie and a goodie. I've had it on my shelf for many years and I like to revisit it every so often. So this excerpt, it's on page 21. And it is talking about primary and secondary greatness. And it's about integrity. And I've been having a lot of conversations around this lately, not just on an individual level, but also on an institutional level, a group level, of what integrity means and whether or not we're being choosy and discerning with our integrity and the integrity of groups we choose to be a part of and what we choose to feed. So here we go. Sit back, relax, and listen. And if you like it, grab this book. It's incredibly easy to find. It's not a new book. It's around. You can get it. Okay, here we go. Perhaps in utilizing our human capacity to build on the foundation of generations before us, we have inadvertently become so focused on our own building that we have forgotten the foundation that holds it up. Or in reaping for so long what we have not sown, perhaps we have forgotten the need to sow. If I try to use human influence strategies and tactics of how to get other people to do what I want, to work better, to be more motivated, to like me and each other, while my character is fundamentally flawed, marked by duplicity and insincerity, then in the long run I cannot be successful. My duplicity will breed distrust, and everything I do, even using so-called good human relations techniques, will be perceived as manipulative. It simply makes no difference how good the rhetoric is or even how good the intentions are. If there's little or no trust, there's no foundation for permanent success. Only basic goodness gives life to technique. To focus on technique is like cramming your way through school. You sometimes get by, perhaps even get good grades, but if you don't pay the price day in and day out, you never achieve true mastery of the subjects you study or develop an educated mind. Did you ever consider how ridiculous it would be to try to cram on a farm, to forget to plant in the spring, play all summer, and then cram in the fall to bring in the harvest? The farm is a natural system. The price must be paid and the process followed. You always reap what you sow. There is no shortcut. This principle is also true ultimately in human behavior, in human relationships. They too are natural systems based on the law of the harvest. In the short run, in an artificial social system such as school, you may be able to get by if you learn how to manipulate the man-made rules to play the game. In most one-shot or short-lived human interactions, you can get by and make favorable impressions through charm and skill and pretending to be interested in other people's hobbies. You can pick up quick, easy techniques that may work in short-term situations, but secondary traits alone have no permanent worth in long-term relationships. Eventually, if there isn't deep integrity and fundamental character strength, the challenges of life will cause true motives to surface, and human relationship failure will replace short-term success. Many people with secondary greatness, that is, social recognition for their talents, lack primary greatness or goodness in their character. Sooner or later, you'll see this in every long-term relationship they have, whether it is with a business associate, a spouse, a friend, or a teenage child going through an identity crisis. It is character that communicates most eloquently. As Emerson once put it, "What you are shouts so loudly in my ears that I cannot hear what you say." There are, of course, situations where people have character strength, but they lack communication skills, and that undoubtedly affects the quality of relationships as well, but the effects are still secondary. In the last analysis, what we are communicates far more eloquently than anything we say or do. We all know it. There are people we trust absolutely because we know their character. Whether they're eloquent or not, whether they have the human relations techniques or not, we trust them. We work successfully with them. In the words of William George Jordan, into the hands of every individual is given a marvelous power for good or evil, the silent, unconscious, unseen influence of his life. This is simply the constant radiation of what man really is, not what he pretends to be. Just something to keep in mind as you do your inner work, as you show up for yourself on the daily, and as you choose where you're going to send your thoughts and your energies and what you're creating in yourself over time. Love you guys.